Okay, I want to address the caveats first because there's a lot of people who say stuff that show they haven't really put a lot of thought into these things. First of all, you need to understand the use of force laws in your country and understand what is reasonable to the situation that you're in. This is just training. This is not me practicing for what I plan on doing on the weekend. This is me training in knife combatives and combatives in general. This is not something I would ever want to do to another human being, but I enjoy this kind of training. 2, just run. One of the stupidest statements anyone has ever said, because if you can run or avoid a knife confrontation, absolutely run. If that is safe to do so, there's caveats around running. 1, are you faster than the person you're running from? Because hey, if someone wants to kill you with a knife, there's no guarantee they're gonna just stand there and let you run away. They might just sprint after you and stab you in the back. If you are going to run, do you have a plan? Do you have a way to safety? Are you leaving someone behind under your protection? If you're with your grandchild, are you gonna run and leave your grandchild, your child, or your friend who may have physical disabilities behind? And can you run fast? If you watch me move, you will notice, if you are observant, that I have injuries and issues that keep me from moving as fast as I could when I was 30. But even when I was 30, 20, or whatever, I have short legs. I'm not sprinting fast. So running may not be the option that I have in the moment. So when people say just run, I always use it as an opportunity to help educate them into why we train this and what we're training for, because they obviously don't understand that, yes, I would do everything I can to avoid using a knife or facing a knife. There is no way I am gonna stand there and fight someone with a knife if I absolutely do not have to. There is no way I'm gonna draw my knife and use it as a force multiplier if I am not in the absolute worst case scenario of violence. Now, when I say you should understand your use of force laws, understand that in Canada, which is the country I live in, you have to be governed by what is reasonable to the situation. Also, if you are going to carry an edged weapon or an edged tool and use it as an improvised weapon, which is more the way I look at it, knives are handy things to have when it comes to everyday chores and tasks. But if you're going to train with your tool to be able to use it in self-protection, you need to understand that according to Canadian law, if a weapon is a danger to the public peace, the police can confiscate it and charge you. So if you are carrying something that could be used as a weapon, understand that you may have that taken away from you. You may even face charges if you are doing stupid things with it, like brandishing it or showing it off in public. Anything that you carry that can be used as a self-defense tool requires a depth of maturity and self-control that many do not have. This is not for everyone. This is not for just anyone. You have to really put some sober thought into this, as I have stated many times. Now, over half my video has been used up at talking about the caveats. They are important, but they should be obvious. What I'm showing here is basically what I do to train this stuff. I drill with partners. I use heavy bags and targets. I spar. I do Carenza, which I'm not showing here actually. I should show some Carenza in one of my videos, which is like shadow boxing with the knife. Basically, anything a pugilist does is how I train for knife combatives. My base comes from Filipino martial arts mainly. I am a Medusa edged weapon system instructor, and I am starting to explore the Western Piper method. And you are seeing all of that in here. I believe that looking into the criminal use of edged weapons has really changed how I train. I have a lot of gratitude towards Jason Schultz, Mike Raymond, and Dean Franco for really being my coaches in that. And the other people in the community. Brian Canada has given me some great advice, and other people have critiqued my videos in ways that have helped me, even some people that I do not know. Remember, constructive criticism is completely different than trolling. Constructive criticism is actually a gift. It's a way of helping other people continue on their journey and better themselves. This is something that I love when people do, especially when it really hits home and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I got to improve on that. I got to work on that. I got to add these tactics to what I'm doing. And let's keep in mind, this is me documenting my own journey. My journey may be different than yours. Now, this is important. I dropped the knife there on the draw. I kept this in because I think it's important for us to show failures, and it's also important to understand that in reality, you may drop your knife when you're trying to access it, so you better have the ability to not get hyper-focused on the blade and to continue fighting. I spar in a very playful manner like John and I are doing here. We're not really going super hard, of course, but we are still building timing and coordination, defense and offense. One last thing I will say about constructive criticism. When people offer it to you, make sure you put it through a lens of, is this true? Is this real? Is this helpful? If it is true, if it is helpful, if it will help you grow, put it in application. If it doesn't seem true to your education and interpretation and your training goals, throw it away. Don't use it. Your journey and interpretation of martial arts is your own thing. If you're going to do this kind of training, make sure you stay true to yourself, your own vision, your own knowledge, and your own interpretation of knowledge, as well as your own interpretation of statistics of violence. There is a really big danger of emotional bias when it comes to things we love like martial arts. Be aware of that danger in your training. These last two sequences show how I'm changing how I express the Medusa edged weapon system because of some advice from Brian Kanata. If you're still watching, thank you and have a great day.